Welcome to the Dysfunction Junkies podcast. We may not have seen it all, but we've seen enough. And now, here are your hosts, Chrissy and Kerry.
Hello, junkies, and most importantly, happy birthday to you.
It's after my birthday.
I know it is.
Thank God.
But I wasn't allowed to say it beforehand. So I'm Kerry, and this is Chrissy's birthday week.
Yeah, I'm Chrissy. And we're going to have a whole week. No, I don't do whole weeks or whole months or anything. I'm lucky to do a whole day.
Okay, well, we're 24 hours post Chrissy's birthday. So I wasn't allowed to say it last week because Chrissy's rule of birthdays is you can't celebrate before. So I'm celebrating it now. Of course, I did acknowledge it yesterday for you on your actual birthday, but I am publicly saying happy birthday, girl.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So I thought that this was a great way to lead into today's episode also.
Why is that?
Because, birthdays, family, signs and symbols, psychic, superstitions. We're going to talk about the whole gamut. So what do you think about all that, Chrissy? Chrissy, go.
No, you don't really want me to go.
Chrissy's amped up. She is excited for this episode.
I try to bring it down a little bit. And this is it's a hard topic for me in the fact that I don't want to, I try to say I don't want to come off badly, and yet I do constantly. You would say, well, if you don't want to come off badly, wouldn't you try to work at not coming off badly? I guess what I'm trying to do is tell you, don't be offended by what I'm about to say. It's your problem, not mine.
There you go.
I'm not going to change how I am.
This is our safe space, Chrissy. You are allowed to say what you want. We have big, broad shoulders, and this is our safe space. So
please do.
It is okay. Actually, Chrissy's words before we started this was, I'm definitely going to hell.
Yes. Or at least make some people, and my intention is not to make anybody feel bad. No. But this is a topic which I think does separate people a lot.
Yeah.
Because I think people do have definite strong feelings about this one way or the other.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and this is one where you and I are kind of polar opposites on.
Yes.
Our beliefs of ghosts or psychics or
what's weird
signs and symbols.
I do I've had personal experience with something that's not been of this earth,
right?
In my opinion.
Yeah.
But the psychic thing, maybe because it's not completely firsthand.
Yeah.
When you experience something weird where it doesn't seem like it's right, maybe you feel like there's another presence somewhere near you.
Yes.
It's you and that feeling that you're getting. Right. But now when you bring in the psychic, it's somebody who's trying to sort of translate from one world to the next. And I'm going to come right out. I don't believe in it personally. It's not what I believe in.
I definitely feel like there is more than what is physically here that we can see. So I do believe in ghosts. I do believe in...
We grew up with one.
Well, that's part of why I did. The house that I grew up in, we had a ghost.
Did he at least help with the mortgage?
No. And that was
squatter.
This is the one thing in our family that we squatter. This is the one thing in our family that we were not our normal selves. Normally, we don't talk about things. We talked about the ghost. We normalized the ghost in our house. It was talked about. It was if we heard somebody walking upstairs, that's just the ghost. And it was only until the later years that my sisters and I kind of named the ghost, which I think I'll keep the name nameless right now. But yeah, it was totally normalized having a ghost in our house. Yeah.
Everybody was on board with this.
Pretty much. Yeah.
My father would have told me to get the hell out of there. There's nothing in here. Just get out of my show's coming back on. But Dad, I heard something. No.
Yeah. So it was very normalized. And, there's a lot of people that don't believe in this. And if you don't believe me, that's fine. It's okay. I know my truth.
Okay.
Yes. But I have seen the ghost that was that was in my parents' house.
Like we're talking about the ghost.
Seen the ghost.
All right.
So my experiences there are definitely very strong. And there's been other times where I've had experiences where that things were present or, experienced them that, I definitely believe in the afterlife and ghosts. Yes, 100%. So therefore, yes, I do believe in psychics. I do think there's a lot of fakes. I do think there's a lot of people that are ripping people off, but I'm 100% believe that there are truly people that are gifted that can translate that world.
Wow.
Go, Chrissy, go. I can see it on your face.
Well, a few episodes ago, I bought my ticket to hell.
Yes.
And now I'm buying first class to hell with this. And I'm going to just say, hey, me, as you know, lousy at religion.
Yes.
Get it wrong a lot. Unless it's a movie that I'm getting my information from. Generally doesn't translate in my brain real well. And 10 Commandments.
Yeah.
That list they give you.
Yes.
Is that just Catholics or does other religions have commandments? I don't even know. I'm so sorry.
It's not just Catholic.
Well, because it's Old Testament.
It's Old Testament. It's Christian. There's a lot of other. So
if it's Old Testament, are you allowed to say Christian?
Because that's prior to Christ.
Too.
Right. So. Yeah. So there's a lot.
Okay. So this is
it refers to a lot of religions.
Religion.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And I just realized I was just informed that every one of those commandments is assigned a number and it doesn't deviate. Like I just thought it was a list. So sometimes they fall in different orders. I was just apprised of the fact that each one of them is assigned that number and does not change.
It does not change.
Like all of a sudden number 1's all of a sudden number 8 on the list or something.
Right.
So I was told that the way I feel about this, and you're like, you're such a hypocrite. Like you don't even follow religion. What are you quoting this list of commandments for? But I seem to recall that, and I was told it was number 1 on the list.
Okay.
Thou shalt have no false gods before me.
Yes.
And
commandment number 1, top of the list.
So I always.
You actually got your ticket to heaven.
No. No, because I'm about to lose it again. So, yeah. And to me, believing that somebody can perform, in my opinion, what seems to be something only designated for God.
Okay.
To be able to translate those worlds, it seems wrong that if you're a very religious person, you would believe in this type of thing. But as my husband has pointed out, it has been people who are of very strong faith.
Yeah.
That seem to really believe in this and have had experience, and in their opinion, a positive experience with this type of thing, going to a psychic.
Well, I can say that in my personal experiences, I mostly have had good experiences when I've had encounters with the afterlife. But I've also had a very negative bad experience. So I do believe that you have to be very careful on this subject, because just as there are good ghosts, there's not so good. There's demonic or not so nice ghost. And so you do have, it's a very fine line. Yeah. But I can see your thought where you're going on this, the commandments thing. But yeah.
Well, now I'm going on the fact that you're going to this thing, you're sitting with this person, they're trying to do a reading for you or bring forth people, loved ones that have passed on, so that you can somehow connect with them again.
And I think that's probably exactly why I've never purposely gone to a psychic, like not in a, I went once to a psychic that's very popular on TV that was holding a Coliseum event. Okay. But that was it. I've never gone to one personally or whatever, because I do think that there's that very fine line of you could be calling the wrong, and if they don't know what they're doing, you could be calling the wrong thing.
Stop off at the psychic hut on the side of the road.
No. In the 24-hour neon sign, psychic, call this number. No.
They all have a sign like that, too.
I know they do.
Wow.
Isn't it crazy?
There's an industry for that.
But I very much do believe that our loved ones especially are with us. And I do think that they're always sending signs and symbols. For instance, for me, there's a couple things that are telltales. And my husband always doesn't believe in this either, but lately he's starting to see like maybe there is something to this. The number 57. The number 57 was something that was kind of my mom, that was always something that was somebody was always sending that sign to her. And then it's kind of started translating to me. And now, especially since my mom has passed, I've definitely been seeing 57 a lot more. And it could be random things, but it'll just pop up and it's like, oh, I just feel like that's mom's way of saying hello to me or helping me know that we're on the right path. So it could be something totally, what was something recent that the 57 stopped up on? Oh, when I was booking hotel reservations for mom's funeral, almost all of the hotel reservations had 57 in them. I mean, it's all,
You mean
like 57-601-12 or whatever was the reservation number.
Oh.
And all of the reservations had 57. They start like that or had a 57 in it. And that's just random. Oh, another really good one. Our friends with the plane, they fly privately. So, when you fly commercially, you have flight numbers, so, oh, you're on Southwest, 718 or whatever flight number. Well, when they fly privately, they get what's called a squawk code. So it's basically like the little flight number. So the air traffic controllers know. Almost every time we fly, 57 shows up. And they're like, that's so weird. We don't hardly ever. In fact, the very first time it was 5757 showed up on there because I was really nervous the first time we flew with them because I was like, oh, is this safe and whatever. And then that 5757 showed up and I'm like, oh, I'm good. Someone's looking out for us. Yeah.
okay? I'm so
The face you're giving me. Okay, Chrissy, go.
Well, the one thing that really was freaking me out was the fact that you said that not only can you connect with a soul that means something to you, that is a good soul or spirit, you're conjuring in like
People could.
that's terrifying.
It is terrifying. That's why you have to be very careful.
Well, what made these people bad? Like, is it Charles Manson coming through, or I'm like, where is their background, and how did they sneak in on your time? I'd almost be angry and be like, look, I'm paying for this. I don't have time for you. Shh, get out of here. Mr. White-faced, blood dripping from mouth. I keep seeing that flash from The Exorcist. Hello.
There you go.
Anybody remember that crazy face that then popped up on the screen all of a sudden? I do. Natalie does.
Natalie does. Fingers.
Fingers will tell you about it.
Oh.
So, yeah.
You got a lot on your list over there, Chrissy.
Well,
But see, I think this is all part of our dysfunction in our lives. I mean, like, some people rule their life by this. Every decision they make, they'll go to a psychic or every whatever, and
yeah. Boy, you got to have a lot of lousy people in your family. Nobody can give you good advice. You're digging up people who've probably been gone for who knows how long. They can't even flip and understand what your world looks like now. Should I not do the internet for this? And then somebody would die like 50 years ago. What? Now you got now there's an explanation that's required. Well, what's the internet? Before I can give you advice on this, I need to give me some backstory. So one thing on my list is, how is there comfort?
yeah.
Maybe you're getting comfort in the moment that you feel that this person definitely, and it's somebody who you loved tremendously.
Yeah.
And so in that moment, you're getting comfort knowing that you're getting in some way time again with them. An extension of time. Everybody says, if I had 5 more minutes with you,
Right.
I would give this up.
Right.
But wouldn't it, after the fact, wouldn't that reality of I was with them for this little bit of time, they came through, but then wouldn't it be like another takeaway? Like the loss is there again. And why would you want to put yourself through that?
Yeah.
Because it is like it's a loss again. They're gone.
I see your point. I do see your point in that, but I think it just depends on how, and maybe for some people that's very true. That it's like trauma response where then they're going to go relive that. But for me, it's always comforting. It's always like when these little signs or symbols show up, like one of the other ones is a dragonfly. My husband has somebody that had passed away, and him and his sister, when they see a dragonfly, it's to them a representative of that person. And it's just so odd because we've been together at times in a time of year where dragonflies are not like in season. And all of a sudden a dragonfly shows up and it's just comforting. It's like, oh, that person's here with us. And it's kind of like, it just brings comfort. It brings a like a warm blanket feeling on you. So, and it doesn't cause that recycling that loss. But again, I could see where it depends on the person. So,
see, when you say things like that and you're you gain comfort from this.
Yes.
It makes me feel and look even worse. The fact that I just totally don't, I don't get it. How about accidentally summoning random people that you don't even know? Like, how do you handle that? Like, you're at a psychic reading, you paid for it, and like somebody accidentally comes in on the wavelength, or what? However they're shuffling through.
That sounds like something you got from one of your movies.
Oh, I'm sure it is.
That Whoopi Goldberg movie.
Well, talk about, really. Let's talk about this just for real, because there's some movies that really touch on this, where this poor guy. He was shot, right?
Yeah,
killed.
Shot,
he was murdered.
Yeah,
Ghost.
We're talking about the movie Ghost,
which is even harder now because the gentleman who played the lead. It was one thing to watch this, and it was a tearjerker as it was.
But now he is a ghost.
He is deceased now, and everybody loved Patrick Swayze was wonderful, and but he can't go. Who decided this for him? You cannot go to the good place because now you gotta. Your dopey girlfriend doesn't see that, she's obviously, not able to look out for herself. You got to hang around and make sure she's okay. And then Whoopi Goldberg, I don't know. I'm bothered at the fact she got her Oscar for that. Because she really deserved the Oscar for The Color Purple. I mean, the Oscar thing is like, you have to take it with a grain of salt.
You do, because
they just totally pass over you for legitimate stuff, and then they just toss it at you because they're just like, you know what, we just got to do
throw
this.
you a bone.
Right. Yeah. People are starting to catch on that we're just full of it. But
the random people thing I don't ever think about because I feel like there's if someone's going to come to you, there's a purpose. So I've never thought about, but I also am not, like I said, I'm not trying to conjure people. I'm just, they come. Yeah. I know, Chrissy, this is giving me a look.
This just seems so exhausting because you're walking around dealing with people who are still here walking around.
Causing dysfunction in our lives.
Causing dysfunction, annoying the hell out of you, driving too slow, walking too slow. I remember you said that was a thing
slow
that you
walkers
had a thing
thing,
with. Being quiet. I had a thing with quiet people. And now you're just like doubling up on your idiot people. The ones that were gone. And then they could just be random people who you never even had to deal with in the first place. Now you got a whole list of other crappy people.
I wish we were on video for this episode.
I'm like holding my head. It's just, I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't know how to feel about this. I am having so much trouble right now.
You're having a lot, right? I see. Usually I'm the one with a physical reaction. Right now, Chrissy's totally the one with the physical reaction. She's clasping her chest. She's scratching her head.
No, and I just know people. And I just feel horrible because, and believe me, you know me, you're not going to take, you don't give a crap what I think about this. I have an opinion on it, obviously, and you have an experience with it that has helped you.
Yeah.
So how, again, this is why I'm a horrible person. How can I take that away from you?
You're not.
Well, I hope not.
Oh, no.
I mean, because there's other ways I'd rather totally destroy and annihilate you. This is not one of them. I mean, I'm going to get
said with words of love and friendship.
If I'm going to try and totally humiliate and go at you, it's not going to be over your need to feel like you connected with something that is a loss for you.
No. I'm very strong in my opinions. I have grown from our family not talking about things. I talk about things. I don't take other people's opinions or if they think differently than me, that's fine. I can respect it. I know this is my experience. My experiences is accumulation of all the dysfunction in my life, all the good things that have happened in my life, all the good people in my life, and unfortunately, even the bad people in my life. So you will not take away from me by having your opposite opinion. So I'm good. We're good.
Well, generally, I feel like, and maybe I take that for granted. I would hope that most people know me, and know how I go to the extreme with a lot of the way I think. I hope you look at me and say, "Well, that's her problem." Which it is, and that more of it has to do with me than you. Mm-hmm. So maybe I don't want to be ignored.
Well, God, no.
To quote somebody, I will not be ignored.
Name the movie.
Fatal Attraction.
Oh,
Glenn Close. Was his name Daniel? I think. Anyway, I will not be ignored. But I guess on the other end of that, being a hypocrite, ignore me if you're feeling offended, so you can move on, and I don't get blamed for how I've made you feel.
Yeah.
So
no, I mean, I really do try to be open to other. Obviously, I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. I don't want to offend people, but at the same time, people are so easily offended that it's like, you can't please everybody. I'm living my life. These are my opinions. I try not to push them on other people, but certainly when we're having conversations like this, I will share. So I am definitely a firm believer in the afterlife, in ghosts. I do believe in signs and symbols. Yes. So,
well, let me ask you this, and maybe this would be a future episode, so we don't have to touch on it too much.
Yeah.
But in talking with this, somehow this comes up in my mind too. If you feel like you have an experience with psychics, what is your thoughts on reincarnation?
It's probably against my religion to have this thought.
But now we're being a little bit hypocritical, Kerry.
But this is why, so...
the Ten Commandments doesn't say, thou shalt not believe one with someone else prior to being this person now. But they do say you should not believe in things that are godlike prior to the one and only.
I personally feel like our souls are everlasting. And so that, when they say you have a soulmate, there's no doubt in my mind, 100% Jim and I are soulmates. Like, I think we've been connected in lives before. I think we'll be connected in lives after.
But doesn't that make a definition for reincarnation? Your souls did cross paths in another life.
Yes.
Therefore, reincarnation.
Right. So, yes. But I'm not necessarily thinking that I'm going to be like I was or a tree before, and then next time I'm going to be a frog. I'm not thinking like that.
But isn't that pretty crappy for the frogs and the trees out there, that they will always be a frog or a tree? They never can move up, and our task is good. Do we not become something better?
You know what this is reminding me of? When we talked about superstitions in our episode, and you said, this is funny, you're asking me these rules and I know the answers, but I've never, I'm thinking the same thing, okay, wait, what are the rules of this? I never really gave this thought. So there's nothing bad about being a tree or a frog.
Have you ever been one?
No, but
think about it. Doesn't sound like a good time to me, but maybe there's some enlightenment there that I'm not clicking into.
And what also doesn't make sense is I just said referencing, see, that rule doesn't work, because I was just saying that when we see a dragonfly or a butterfly or whatever, that reminds us that doesn't mean that person is in there. That just means that that's a representation that we physically can see that's embodied that person. Doesn't mean that they're now eternally a dragonfly.
I'll help you out with this one.
Yeah.
And don't say I didn't ever give you anything.
Carry your full shit.
No. I'm going to say, in you saying that you don't believe that person is now a dragonfly.
Right.
But what I think you might be trying to say, and just go with this if you're not, is that person who you're thinking of sent that to
That's
you.
what I'm trying to say.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah. That's what you're trying to say. I got you, babe.
I thought you were going to do another password because you were leading in.
I know.
There's no dragonfly? Carrie said.
Password of the day is dragonfly.
Password of the day is dragonfly. If Carrie actually sees a dragonfly, then that's the password. Yeah, you know what? Did I touch on this in the superstition one? Now that you're talking about dragonflies and stuff showing up. And again, I don't know where this came from. And I don't remember anybody ever telling me this. If a bird shows up in a place where it shouldn't be.
Okay.
It's hanging out somewhere you don't want it.
All right.
It's annoying you and it decided to nest on your gutter. And you're afraid when you come out, it's going to attack you.
Okay.
And just shows up there and won't leave. It brings bad luck. So I get very freaked out when I see certain critters in a place where they don't belong. Birds, possum just all of a sudden strolling up out of nowhere. I freak out. I'm like, oh my God, it's bringing something bad, something wicked this way comes. I'm referencing actually literature, I believe. Is that not a book? One for me, English literature major. My husband got upset because when Princess Diana passed away, we were sitting on the porch at my parents' house.
Okay.
We did not know she had passed away because it was Paris time.
Yeah.
We were not informed yet this had happened.
Okay.
But about the time it happened, we were sitting on the porch and we witnessed a bird event.
A bird event.
It was a bird event. And we were like, oh my gosh. It was a bunch of mourning doves swarming in the sky all of a sudden. And it was just around that time that she probably would have passed away. And it was nuts. We never seen it before or after.
Yeah.
My husband said there are a lot of bugs in the air and they were feeding in that area. So he's totally not believing it. I don't know that I believe that that was a sign of what had occurred. I mean, I understand Princess Diana was important to a lot of people. And yeah, I mean, I loved her, you know, come on, you know.
Right.
I'm American. Why wouldn't I love a British princess? Of course.
Nick's scooting in here. I feel like he has something he wants to add.
So I think because they were, the birds were swarming and they were feeding, and it was about at the same time as when probably Princess Diana had gotten to the car accident. So Chrissy always attributes that to that. And just, which is funny because she doesn't want to believe in the psychics, but she'll believe in
well, it's the same as the superstitions.
Yeah. So
well, because now see, there's no third party involved in this, so it's my personal firsthand experience. There's no other person. These are creatures occurring. And I am a firsthand witness to this.
Right.
You having to be there and sit there and tell me that so-and-so has now
entered the
come
room.
through or connected with me. And I need to share with you what they're trying to tell me for you. That's an interference. But if you're experiencing firsthand.
See, I'm with you on the psychic thing because I have a hard time believing in that.
Yeah.
You lose me on these other things about.
He says that and he gets very upset because I worked for a museum in the Youngstown area for a while, and I was totally getting bad vibes working there. I was freaked out because I really felt like something. I never saw anything. I did hear what appeared to sound like footsteps.
I believe it.
Coming up steps of this museum, and I was working upstairs on the top level, and I was like, oh, good, so-and-so's here. It was a day when the museum was kind of empty. It wasn't open for tours or anything, and I had just gone there. I had an internship there I was trying to do, and I heard footsteps, clear as a day, coming up the steps, and I was like, oh, good, so-and-so's coming up, you know, and it was like... The steps lasted way longer than I knew they were. And then nobody showed up. And I totally freaked out. So I went, first I went down to the second level and I was like, everything's dark, nothing here. First level, walked through this whole place, nothing. And then I was an idiot. The basement was set up for more stuff. So it wasn't like you're going into a dark, dank basement. It was actually somewhere where people would go and look at stuff. And nobody there. I totally freaked out. And I grabbed my bag and I ran past the one other part where all the office and the director and stuff for the museum were in there. And I think what was funny to them is they actually saw me leave in a hurry and get in my car. I didn't come back.
See? So there's a little
But it was a feeling.
Right. That's
that I experienced, and it was firsthand again.
Yes.
This was just me and this experience. Right. But Nick, you're crapping all over this, but you did have one experience that you felt, and it made you sit straight up it was in the middle of the night. Go ahead, share it. It's your experience.
DJ Nick.
He doesn't even remember.
He's looking at you like, what?
Nick, go.
Well, I thought I heard something, but that,
No, it was more than that. You had encountered a sensation of smell.
Oh yeah, smells are definitely there.
Yeah, so I smelled what I thought was a perfume my mom used to wear.
Oh.
But see how and this is where I'm actually similar.
Smells like that qualifies.
So, but this is where I'm similar to Chrissy, whereas you say those things give you comfort. When I did do that, it doesn't give me comfort because my mother was gone.
Right.
And it just it brought back, I guess, a feeling of, she's not here anymore.
Right.
So I'm glad that it works for you and it gives you comfort.
Right.
I'm actually closely aligned for once with my wife. A lot of times if I were, and that really that's the only time I ever remember that.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I think I can see that because, you know, it's kind of like how do you say, you know, how like when you eat certain things, it's a comfort food, you know, so it brings, it brings back memories. It's invoking a memory. So I could see where some of those experiences are evoking a memory as opposed to helping give you peace and answers for validation or something is maybe what I'm trying to think of. It's personal to everybody.
I think that the healthier point of view would be, and none of us, I'm guilty of this, everybody's, but wouldn't the healthier thing be to come to an understanding that there's a lot of things in this life and in this world that you're never going to have an answer to.
Oh, 100%. I think that's probably why a lot of this is where we are trying to make answers for ourselves.
Right.
So.
We can't accept the fact that there's no answer.
Right, exactly. So, but yeah, this is interesting.
I think maybe this might be something we can come to later on too.
Yes, I think so. Absolutely. But it was fun to start diving down this rabbit hole.
Yeah. Totally dysfunctional.
But what I want to know is what encounters other people have had or what their side of the story is. Are you on Chrissy's line and Nick's line on this? Are you more like me? Do you find comfort in it or do you believe in it, not believe in it? Or have you had experiences? I would love to hear that from all of you.
Me too. And I am open to both sides.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, we are not licensed therapists. This is just our personal opinion on these things,
Very
our
much
feelings on this. So
yes,
as we dive down these things that help drive us in our lives. So anyways, it was great listening or talking to all of you guys. Hope you enjoyed listening to us and we'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.